Hey there everyone, welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. This is a show that is dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So here we are again at the Great Prog War. This is battle number 29? Yeah, 29. Coming out tomorrow. This is the semifinals now. We've reached the final four bands, or final four albums. This battle that's coming out tonight was a tough one. Very tough. IQ, The Wake versus Genesis, Nursey, Cryme. Now, if we were just going by my favorite albums over their history, this wins landslide because of its years and years of being a masterpiece album with me. But because I don't listen to it much anymore, I've been listening to it a lot. This is the fourth listen to it in less than a couple weeks, and it's starting to. I'm starting to get burned on it already. You know, a couple of the tracks that I found myself like, even Music Box. I was telling you, okay, I've heard that a couple times too many now. Return of the Giant Hogweed, the same thing. However, Harlequin has picked up some of the slack there. And The Fountain of Salmacy is just an awesome song, man. Just totally awesome song. This album has got some great keyboards on it. Some really, really intricate and well suited to the album guitar. Drums, of course, are really good as well. And as is the bass. And Peter Gabriel's voices are outstanding here. All those things true. The IQ album is new to me. Of course, this is, I think, maybe the 15th or 16th listen I've had it in the last, since it first was introduced to me on Ben's Albums Challenge a few months back, or 3 months back. I can't remember how long it's been now. Such a solid album. Lots of really good tracks on it. Some of the tracks are getting stronger. I still like that opening track a lot, though. And it's like probably my favorite song right now of those two albums. So I would say, like, with the IQ album, the keyboards are really strong on that album. Guitars are really intricate, and like, there's a lot of similarities between these two albums. Obviously, IQ was deeply influenced by Genesis's music, as many of the neo-prog bands were. You can hear it in their music, their influence. So for them to do battle with their icons and their heroes is a big plus for them to get to this level. There's a couple of and the other thing is the vocals with IQ. I wasn't crazy about some of the songs when I initially heard it, but they've grown on me. And I like the guy's voice quite a bit. He's very good. I think the drummer is really strong in this band too. And the more you listen to it, the more you hear his intricacies. It's the same with Phil Collins in Genesis. He's not as frontal as you might think Phil Collins would be. You know, you hear the album In the Air Tonight, he's right up front. But he's not so frontal there with Genesis. He plays his little bits and parts that he's supposed to play. And he does them very well. He's an excellent drummer. Overall, both bands are pretty strong. Very, very intricate with their styles and stuff. I think the keyboardist with IQ is very, very much influenced by Tony Banks. The reason being is I hear a lot of Tony Banks in him. I mean, not in so much in his sound, but in his style. And he's really good. Like, I think he's easily he's easily the best musician on the band for IQ. Not that the other guys are bad, because they're really good as well, but I just think he's better than them all. And he, I think, makes the difference with the atmosphere that he creates on the album. So overall, it's a strong album. It's got nothing but stronger with the tournament. I mean, they did in I think it was King Crimson he did in. You know, I didn't think that would happen. So here we are again with another chance to face an opponent that pretty hard to beat. Pretty hard to beat this album. This is a great album. From top to bottom, solid music. If this album was coming out now, if they were both on equal footing, this knocks them out of the park. Nobody in this tournament would have a chance. But because it's been around for so long, for me, this became a masterpiece album in the early part of this century, like 2 decades ago, when I first unwrapped it after having it in the cupboard for 12 years. Yeah, that's me. Taking my sweet time about stuff. you know, this along with Foxtrot and Selling them by the pound sat up there in the cupboard for 12 years without even being out of the wrap. But anyways, once it got out of the wrap, it quickly, within a few short years, became a masterpiece for me. Each one of them getting better as we go along. This one is very good though. Anyways, it came down to today to the listen, right? That's what we do. We listen to the albums and then I make a decision. And I have to say, and this will come as a big shock to people, but Genesis is going to have to sit down today. It just lost out by a hair here to IQ, which is continuously impressing me with its noises and the sounds that I hear on that album. And I just enjoyed it more today. I just enjoyed the album more than I did this one. So that's the way it's going to be. And I know this will come as a huge shock to some people who think that this album is going to go all the way. And to be honest, I really thought it would go all the way too. But what I didn't take into consideration is that, listening to it so many times in such a short period of time would bring out that burnout effect, but that so many of my older albums suffer from now. Hence the reason why I'm doing this is because I wanted to discover new music and move on with music instead of always listening to the same stuff. And that explains why I went through that period in the 90s where I didn't really listen to a lot of music, because the stuff I'd been listening to, I burned it all out and just never got into anything else. Anyways, Genesis is going back in the cupboard, and IQ will move on to face the victor of the round, the other semifinal, which will be between Camel and their album Mirage, taking on Gentle Giant and their album in the Glass House. I'm trying to think of the first few words. I always remember the Glass House part, but I forget the first one. So it's In a Glass House for Gentle Giant, taking on Camel's Mirage tomorrow on the next one. This one will come out tomorrow morning. And then the winner of that will face IQ in the finals. So let's see what's going to happen here. It can go either way now. Anything's possible at this moment. But we'll see what happens. So anyways, I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe. It'll be much appreciated. Make your comments. You feel the same way I do about both albums, or maybe you prefer one completely over the other, or maybe you think I'm crazy. And you might be right on all those accounts. Anyways, have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow morning when this comes out.